Hi, I'm Gonzalo Ron. Welcome to Back to Basics. Today we're going to talk about how to manage your web application sessions. Imagine you're buying your Christmas presents at Amazon.com. You get one item, put it into your shopping cart, and then continue clicking around to get more presents. With millions of users using Amazon.com at the same time, how the website can remember those are your items? This is because of web sessions. Web sessions are great as a way to have some kind of short-term memory for your website. Let's talk about the most common patterns for your web sessions. This is probably the most basic architecture for a website. You have an EC2 instance serving your HTTP request for your customers. This instance keeps the session data, like the products you add to your shopping cart, in its local memory. So think for a second. Maybe having one instance is not a good idea, right? If this instance is going down, that's going to impact your customers. When you add more instances to your architecture, you also need an elastic load balancer to balance the load. I know what you're thinking now. In the Amazon.com example, if a customer adds a book into the shopping cart and then adds a video game, this customer could be hitting different EC2 instances in each interaction. So, what EC2 instance is keeping the session for this customer? Should you replicate the sessions between all your EC2 instances? Every time there is a change in the session, we sync other EC2 instances. That's an idea. This would work for a small number of instances, but when this number starts growing, this synchronization can slow down your application. A simple way to solve this problem is ensuring that the elastic load balancer is always hitting the same EC2 instance for a particular session. This approach is called sticky sessions. In that way, the web application remembers what is the EC2 instance that is serving a particular customer at a time. The advantage of this approach is simplicity. You can set up sticky sessions just going into the AWS console and clicking a checkbox. What are the disadvantages of this approach? It's always a good practice to anticipate failure. What's happening if a server is going down? All the sessions living in that server are going to be lost. And let's think a little bit more. If you want to deploy a new version of your product, how are you going to do it? Blue-green deployments, canary deployments. Remember, if the server is going down, your sessions are going to be lost, impacting some of your customers. So you saw that having your session data in your EC2 instances, it's super simple, but it has some disadvantages. Is there any way to make your services stateless so you decouple your session data from your EC2 instances? What about having a distributed cache out of your EC2 instances keeping the session data? As you can see in this architecture, you can leverage an in-memory key value store, such as Redis or Memcache. This approach adds some complexity to the solution, but is abstracting the sessions from the web service themselves. Key value data stores are extremely fast and provide sub-millisecond latency. Whenever a server wants to modify the session, the service will not keep the change in its local memory. It will make the change in elastic cache. That makes your services stateless, which is considered a best practice. Even better, if a server is going down or you need to perform a new release of your code, your customers are not going to be impacted. There are some particular cases where you want to use sticky sessions. For example, if you have a legacy application that is relying on your sessions being in the servers. However, in most of the cases, I prefer to have my web sessions in a distributed cache. In that way, your application becomes more reliable and your deployments become simpler. Check the links below for more details. Thank you for watching Back to Basics. See you next time.